fields of the tulips. People always remark on what it looks like from the air, and this is what it looks like from the ground. Now, I had seen this before when I went, but it wasn't tulips. They also grow dahlias and daffodils and all kinds of cut flowers. They're the biggest supplier of cut flowers in Europe, I think. But this is what the tulips outside Kopenhagen look like. To do anything with that. Okay. And there's more fields of them. And I mean, this is, you can drive for miles and miles and miles and miles, and that's all you see is fields and fields and fields like this of tulips. This is where Kopenhagen is. You can see Amsterdam's right there, and Kopenhagen's right here. Haarlem's right here, and there's lots of these fields between Haarlem and this place where Kopenhagen is called Lissa, and this is the place where the famous cheese is from. It's not Gouda, it's called Gouda. And yeah, the place where my son and his family live is right here. It's Wassenaar, and it's right on the North Sea here. So we were kind of close to it. He took me there for Mother's Day. That was his Mother's Day treat for me. Usually it's in April and May, and it's at different times during the year. This is inside the park. It's one of the gardens.
That is so
See, there's a mixture of tulips with, I mean, this is one. You can stick the other one is a hyacinth.
This is in May?
Well, it's in either April or May.
April or May?
And it varies from one year to the next. So you have to
Depending
check
on the weather?
Yep, depending on the winter and how long the winter was. There's another view of it. Some of the pictures are in better focus than others. My granddaughter took some of them. Some I took off the internet. And my camera was running out of battery and all those kinds of things. But not all these. That's myself, and that's Sophia. You'll see her because she likes to take pictures. And that's Martin, my grandson. And I was always cold. But so, even though the flowers are blooming, I'm so cold.
What were the real tall ones behind you?
Trees?
No, see the yellow ones over there?
Forsythia.
Oh, yeah, I can't tell, yeah.
Is it?
The right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Forsythia shrub.
What?
Forsythia?
Oh, is it?
Yeah, there's lots of things planted there, but it's primarily a tulip showcase, but there's lots of other things. The history of it, Kopenhagen means kitchen garden. It goes back to the 15th century. The Kopenhagen Castle was built in 1641, and it became 200 hectares of land. And so now that's what the castle looks like.
Oh,
Yeah. And then two landscape artists in 1857 redesigned the park. And I don't know if you've ever heard of Vondelpark in Amsterdam. It's a really famous park that's in the middle of Amsterdam. It's like the Central Park of Amsterdam. And they designed Vondelpark, but they also designed this park. It's in the English landscape style, and that's still the basis of Kopenhagen. Kopenhagen is still basically that idea of a castle and its garden around it. And in 1949, 20 flower bulb exporters. See, this is not private people playing. There ain't anybody paying for this. These are the companies that export bulbs, and they each have their own section to showcase every year. So they go all out. They dig up all these bulbs and then they re-put in new exhibits. And so every year you go, also there's different things there.
So it's not the park that's in charge?
No. Yeah, well, each of these, they call them, they're bulb exporters. They call them like the royal growers.
Right.
And each one of those companies has a certain section, and that belongs to them. And so then they fill it up with whatever they want to. And it was open to the public in 19. Those are the sunflowers, and that's the sandal, all done with flowers. I mean, it's just spectacular. I've never seen anything like this in my whole life. It says that they have about 100, they're called royal suppliers. And so they come in and they try to, it's almost like they try to show off and do better than the other guy. And anyway, that's a map of the whole garden. And there's I think it's here. There's an orchid pavilion. So you go in there and there's displays of orchids. You can buy orchids everywhere in Holland. You go to the regular nurseries, you buy a Cymbidium, Oncidium, whatever, for about €6. My classroom was filled with them in the classroom next there. And they have other exhibit halls where they show like new types of tulips that they're competing to see who has the biggest and the best and so on. I don't have any pictures from in there, but that's something else too. And it takes like a whole day to go through this place. You could easily spend 2 or 3 days here. This is some patches of hyacinth. And they have them all labeled, so you can go through it.
Is the fragrance overwhelming when you walk through
Yeah.
there?
Yeah, by the hyacinth it is. And they were in bloom when we were there. So they come in and come out and see the front, whole blue and white front there is hyacinth. The back are tulips.
Can you smell
Yep, hyacinth, of course. And they have everything labeled, nice signs and everything. So those are all hyacinth. And then this section is on the tulips. And this is just some of them. These are not pictures of everything that's there, but this is some of them. And they have them mixed like this. They have some that are just solid sheets of certain colors of tulips and so on. And you can see all the people there. Because, you know, it's just
That is
along the
awesome.
paths, there's just gobs and gobs of people. We went early in the morning, so it was a little bit better than if we waited a little bit later. That's my granddaughter, Sophia, did. And that's, some of them were just starting to come out when we were there. When my friends went later, they went the last weekend. And you can see some of them aren't in real good focus, but there's just fields of, I mean, lawns and lawns and lawns, one after the other. This is a section of all just red, and there's a place back there where you can go get lunch. And that's all reds. That's a mixed bed, I like that
Oh,
one.
that's pretty.
Yeah.
This was in the spring?
Yeah, we went late April, and my friends went the second week in May,
Oh,
and then the week after that it was done.
okay.
Okay. And it depends on the weather,
Yeah.
so you always have to check every year, check the site and see when everything's gonna be in bloom. Yeah. And I mean, it just, after a while, you can't say anything anymore. Yes. Boy, there's some more. You know, they try different combinations.